Hey traders, thought we'd just do a impromptu live stream in the so-called Power Hour. This really isn't the official launch of my live stream. That'll be next Tuesday morning, but I just want to try to get all the bugs out so that it actually works properly next week. I'm not even sure if there's be any trades to take. Today was a pretty rough day. I traded all day and managed to stay green, $168, but boy, it was really, really choppy. And didn't behave as you would expect, but you know, volume's got to be really low. I mean, is anybody who knows what they're doing really even trading today? I was. And if you were to jump in the chat and let me know how it went. Watched a lot of other live streamers today, and everybody was struggling that I can tell. Those that even participated, some weren't even participating today. So what are we looking at here? I mean, we've been sort of sideways in a channel for, 2 hours now. We had a couple breakouts that we took advantage of. Let's see here where I took some trades. I don't see them on the chart right now. But right now we look like we're heading up. We broke through that 100. So usually what I'd be looking for would it to be returned back to this 9 and then maybe take a long. I'll see if that happens. I think this is my 200. So now it's breaking through the 200 as well. I should have took that long when it broke through there. This is the kind of day that will make you break all your rules and just start taking trades, especially if you get yourself negative. Then all of a sudden you're revenge trading, just clicking on shit. The drunken monkey trader is what I call that. Cumulative delta is very strong right now. Let's see what we're doing here. Yeah, let's wait for a pullback, maybe to this 9 EMA, and then think about a long. Maybe back to here. What I would normally do is when we have a nice run up like this, try to wait for like a 50% retracement, which usually brings me back to about the 9. Let's see what that looks like. If this was the high here. Here. Yeah, see the 50 brings you right about at the 9. 9 EMA, that is, by the way. I'm going to warn you, this will be awkward for a while because I've never live streamed anything before. So I'll do the best I can to make it entertaining, but I wouldn't expect too much for a while. I'm trying to think and talk and take trades. Usually I do this in complete silence. Only the voices in my head. If I could just tap into that, it would be a lot easier than actually having to talk about each trade. For those of you who trade two-legged pullbacks and the teachings of Mac and Bye Money, that's what these indicators are. So I don't have to count the legs in case I'm intrigued by a trade. Now this is a two-legged short. A second entry short. But you see, here's the 20 EMA, so we're way above it. So if it were closer, maybe you could play the failure, but we're still just way too far from the 20 EMA. We are getting closer to this 9, so if we get through that, then I'll take a tick above this bar, if it ever makes it down there. Interestingly, that may end up lining up with this failed second entry short. Didn't quite make it yet. I'd like to see it actually pierce through there. This bar will wick through the 9 EMA, then maybe we got something. If anything works in the last hour of trading of the last day of the year before a long weekend, I would be amazed. But we'll be okay. We'll keep our stops tight. I think what I'll do is I'll try to get it. I'll set it up for 5-point target with about a 3-point stop. We'll see how that works. Is that close enough? Yeah, there we go. All right, so what's the top of that? The top of that bar is 33, so 34 is where we want to put our, right there. We might have missed it. Yeah, I missed it. 34. See if we can get back in on a retrace. See, it actually moved without us. Damn. Let's see if we can get in with this retrace, or it's just going to leave without us. So we would have been looking for to get out around 39, right around here. Damn. Leaving without us. Too slow set up the trade. I could have just eyeballed that instead of pulling up the high of that bar. Yeah, I think we lost that trade. 39, let's see if it gets there. Where we were looking, well, maybe that was wrong anyway. High of that bar, 35 and a quarter, so 35 and a half would have been our entry, I guess. Right there. Well, it didn't make it to the 5 points, so we can go ahead and take that trade anyway and see how it goes. What the hell? All right, we're in it. We're looking for a 5-point target. That's this up here, and then this will be a 3-point. And actually, let's go a tick below this bar, so it'll be there. And if it looks like it stalls, and you see we have some support right here, this, I believe, was the high of the day. Let's double check that. That's not it. I think this green bar here is our high of the day. So we may be asking for too much anyway. I think it might stall there. It might be smarter to just get out there, but let's move our stop to break even now, plus a tick. And then we'll try to get our 5 points. Or get stopped out, break even. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we see we're hitting some resistance right here. This red line here, this is also the previous high of the day. So we could just take what we can now. Yeah, it's reversing off of that. We probably should have just taken our profits at this level here. But we'll see if it comes back and stops us out break even. It's going to need a little energy to get through that. Come on, baby. We'll move this up to a tick below here. Tick below this bar. Let's see if we can get our 5 points. Come on. Oh, it's close. Come on. Come on. Oh my God. One tick away. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Come on. Oh, there we go. Nice. That was $250. One contract. Typically I'll go with 2 contracts, but with the way this day's been going, I've been only using 1. And that was typical, just a pullback. Some people call it a continuation trade. It's just you basically watch this climb up, and when it gets some distance between the bars and the 9 EMA, this is on a 1 minute chart, and pulls back cleanly. This wasn't super clean. There's a little a lot of dojis here, but it was, you see that each bar was lower than each top was lower than the previous top, so it was relatively smooth. And then when it pierces through the 9 EMA, it might be easier for you to do it than me, but I like to look at the bar, pull up the bar. On NinjaTrader, you push the little wheel on your mouse, and it'll bring up all the data for everything on the screen. And the H there, that's the high of that bar, which was 35 and a quarter. So we put our buy at 35 and a half. And then when it reaches that, we go long, and I try for 5 points with a 3 point stop. Now this one I moved it down to 3 and a quarter just to get it 1 tick below this bar here, and that would have been my stop. But you see, it took off, and we didn't have any drawdown whatsoever. No heat, as they say. Now, that was first one. Now, we could, if it does it again, we could try it again. But, every time it comes back to that line, it's a little less likely to work. And another thing that's in your favor is if the first time it hits this after it breaks this red line here, this is the 105 EMA on the 1 minute, which is the 21 EMA on a 5 minute chart. So when all your EMAs and your price goes through that for the first time, and then the pullback to there, this is a high probability. If you only take one of those a day, that's all you need. That's a super high probability trade. And this is a shitty day too. For a day like this, and you see how nicely that worked, that shows to me how powerful that trade is. Yeah, we could have held on to it even longer. Where did we get out? We got out way over here. Wow. What is that? This is where we got out. This is where we're at now. That's another $365. We only made $250. That's 7 and a quarter points beyond what we got. Wow. Let's see what that whole trade would have been. I shouldn't do this. It just makes me crazy. So that's where we got in, and that's where it topped out. Look at that. 12 and a quarter points, $612 per contract. 2 contracts that have been $1,200. Wow. Yeah, I was very hesitant to put in 2 contracts or let it ride because this day has been so hard for me to judge. So I really didn't count on that thing even getting the 5 points. I had a feeling I was going to hit the bail on it or get stopped out, break even. The other thing we could have done is followed it up. So I could that would have worked too if I would have moved my stop up to 1 tick below this bar, and even the pullback would have not stopped us out, and we still would have been in this trade. Well, live and learn. I'm still trying to see how I'm going to be able to trade and live stream at the same time without completely blowing up my account. So getting too fancy, probably should save for once I'm a little more comfortable. Now I'm trading this on Apex. This is a PA account, which is a funded account. Lots of funded trader accounts, and the one we use is Apex. And you'll see on your screen that if you wanted to give it a try, or if you already have some Apex accounts and you want some more, if you don't mind using my coupon code KOWAAPXK when you sign up, I get a little kickback on that. I think 10%, 15%, or whatever it is you pay for it. So cost you nothing extra. I mean, if you just use their coupon code, it would be the same difference. I just wouldn't get anything from it. But it doesn't cost you any more or less to use the code, so I appreciate it if you did that. I know there's a lot of streamers out there, so maybe spread the wealth between us. Wealth in quotation marks. So what do you think? Will we have any more trades today? I don't know. I'm looking at the NQ. Looks very similar to ES this afternoon. We are reaching some resistance on all of these. This, I think, is the high of the day. Let's see here. 8:30. Here's 8:30 here. So yeah, that's where we opened. Yes. That can't be right. That must be the high of the previous day, because I'm still showing that we're down 26 points on the day. Why can't I pull that up? Oh, you know what? Let me see something here. Nope, I thought maybe that was a value area high. I'm a little bit discombobulated here, I'm sorry. Well, here's another. No, did it actually break through? It did. That's an awful big bar, though. I think I'm going to skip this one. We have a lot of stacked bars here. This bar did not wick through the 9. This one appears that it did touch it, possibly wicked through by a tick. But, I mean, look at where we'd have to put our entry. Way up here. Top of this bar is 45.75, so that'd be 46. So that'd be our entry right there. That is awful close to the top. So I think I'm going to skip that unless we could just go for a couple points on it. Yeah, I think this could end up being just a short-term range here. You see these purple lines here, here, and here. That's starting to form a range, short-term range, micro range, I guess you might call it. So if I were to enter here, it'd be entering right at the top of this little range here. And being that it's 3:20 Eastern on the last day of the week, the last day of the year, it's probably you and me are the only two people trading this thing. Well, my hope right now is on Tuesday morning at 9:15 Eastern Time. I will be doing this every morning and hopefully get some listeners and do it every morning and see if I can keep my own trading under control and not screw myself up. That's the hardest part of trading as a psychology, as any of you who do it already have already found out that, or already know that the mechanics of trading, not that hard to learn. Yeah, look what happened there. It never did. Well, it never did break that, so we wouldn't have got into that trade anyway. But yeah, now we're reversing, possibly. Although we might just pull back to the 21 EMA. A lot of the traders that trade two-legged pullbacks, they don't even acknowledge the 9. They don't use it. They use the 21. So they'd be waiting for a pullback to this 21 EMA and for a second entry long to set up. And second entry long at the top of they'll have a signal bar, and at the top of the signal bar possibly take a long. And I think I actually may do that if that actually transpires, because now at least we're getting away from the top here. So the hope would be is perhaps maybe we take a trade down here, second entry long, maybe try to ride it up back up to here. Maybe. Anyway, about psychology, it's like, yeah, the mechanics of trading are pretty simple, but keeping your fears and your emotions in check, that it's like almost impossible. I wonder if anybody like uses, any kind of, meds like Adderall or something like that to help them keep it under control. Not that I advocate that, but I just wondered if that anybody has experimented with that. Yeah, it didn't make it down to the 21. So that was the reason to even stream, is to try to have some accountability, so you're not just taking random trades, where you don't want to be looked like a fool in front of your audience. So you try to have an explainable reason for every trade you take, not just click, click, click. And the way I look at it is, if you can at least explain the reason you took a trade, then you shouldn't feel too bad if it goes against you, because there are no 100% strategies. All there are is higher percentage strategies. So if you can defend that trade against a proven strategy, then you don't have to feel bad if it goes against you. All right, we're getting close to that 20. Okay, so now we've hit the 20 EMA, but it looks like we are just plowing right through it. All right. Doesn't look like our second entry long is going to set up here. This was a failed second entry long, but it was pretty far away from the 20 EMA, 21 EMA. Yeah, this is not setting up. Looks like we are reversing here. Put up some trend lines here, see what it looks like. Well, if this trend is accurate, we do have a break, which typically we'd be looking for this to eventually come back and make a new high, but this market closes in half an hour, so we may run out of time. Now there's our second entry long here. So 43 and a quarter. I don't know. I don't like the way that looks. I guess we can take it, see if we can get a point. See if we can get a point out of this. We are below the 20 EMA, 21 EMA. That may, yeah, this might take us out. Oh yeah. She coming down. That was kind of a lot of risk. Bad trade. A lot of action here. 230. And it's starting to move a little bit, although I do have this kind of zoomed in. Yeah, I think we're going to get hit on that. Take our loss. Yeah, we came within a tick of getting stopped out. Maybe we will get our point. Maybe not. Maybe we should scratch. Yeah, we'll let it ride. We're only trying to get a point. Come on, baby. Zip up there, but yeah, you see there's a little zone of consolidation right here. We don't need much, though. See if it goes. Nope, not looking good. Yeah, look at that. Bar coding, as they say. Real tight little range right here. There we go. Wow. Could have got a little bit more. Anyway, that puts us up 300. Wow, that really moved. How much would that have been? Yeah, let's see here. Where's my tool? There's the measuring tool. All right, so we got in here. Got out with a point. Could have got 4 points and counting. Look at that. Could have got our full 5 points. We're not quite there yet. There's 5 points. Looks like it's going to make it. Man, it looks like it didn't quite make the 5 points, did it? Yeah, there's 5 points. It probably would have had a tick through it, so we'll have to wait to see if it made the full 5. There we go. Now we got the 5 points. But we only took 1. That's 2 good trades, though. Not bad for the last half hour of 2022. Well, now we're back to another pullback trade. This is nice. This green line here represents some resistance. Let me get the rest of these off of here. Okay, so this green line here, that shows some support if it does pull back. And actually, we did pull back, but we didn't quite get to the 9. It's very choppy. That's a bar coding here. But that's okay, because if it were to pull back, at least the we're at the bottom of this tiny little micro range. Boy, she's moving pretty good. My main concern with taking this pullback is I would be putting my order in a tick above this bar. And do we have any confidence that this is going to keep going up? 'Cause this is a double top right here. So I think we're going to skip that. More likely trade if we had more time, which I don't think we're going to. I don't think there's enough time left in the trading data for this to happen. Is you have this sort of M pattern here. Top, double top, pull back. So what we'd be looking for is this to pull back below these EMAs, pull back up to them, and then go down. Very simple in theory, isn't it? Yeah, I think this is just chopping for the rest of the day. Only got about 20 minutes left. Looks like 2022 is going to go out in a whimper. At least in the ES futures market. Looks like we ended the day about down 22 points. It's bugging me what these are. No, it's not it. It's another second entry long here, but it's pretty far away from the 20 EMA. I suppose you could use the 9 as your trigger line, but you can see it's just chopping. This is useless. No strategy that you have will work in a chop like this because it's more or less random. You know, when it starts to what they call consolidate here, it's basically a similar number of buyers and sellers. So obviously we have to wait till it breaks out one way or another. So looks like it wants to break out to the top. Now we have a pivot point up here and resistance here. So it actually would have worked. Either the continuation strategy or two-legged pullback would have worked here. Certainly for a point. I think the way of thinking is changing in terms of how many points to take a lot. When people just started using, I shouldn't say just, but when it became more popular recently in the last couple of years, I think people were just looking for one point, and that was the strategy. So you second entry long, second entry short, try to get a point out of it. $50, move on to the next trade. Try to get 3 of those, make $150 a day. But I think people are now looking for at least 8 to 10 ticks. That's 2.5 points. And, I think that might even be conservative. And actually now maybe it's not too bad, when the volume is low. But come the new year, I think you might even be able to get as much as 5 points. That continuation strategy is definitely taught to use 5 points as a target, and it's pretty consistent on a good moving day. When we actually start live streaming the morning, that's when we'll get our best action anyway, between 9:30 and 11 Eastern. And that's probably all the trading I'll do. I mean, I've been trading all day lately just to kind of prepare my equipment for the live stream next week. But I don't typically trade all day. I usually just trade from, as early as 8 a.m. I live in Central time zone, so for me it's 7 a.m., but we'll leave everything in Eastern. So 8 a.m. Eastern to about 10 a.m. Eastern 11 a.m. Eastern is what I trade. 7 to 10 Central. Yeah, we probably could have taken this all the way to the pivot point. Yep, you kind of knew that it was heading for that. Even if I had a good setup now, I think I'd be hesitant to get into it with, 13 minutes left until cash market closes. So we could have another setup coming here. Although, let's see here. Yeah, we've only hit that once. Yeah, we could give it a try. We do have a nice support line setting up here at 38.50 and a half. But this has to pull back. And we'll give it a shot. I don't think we'll go for 8 ticks, 2 points. And that's one thing that you can't just let these trades ride if you're using a prop firm like Apex, because they have a live trailing stop. So what that means is if you're in a trade and you have these gains, your trailing stop is following that gain. Now, if it pulls back, your trailing stop stays at your highest point. So you can't just, buy down here and then just ride it up, because if it pulls back, it could literally pull back enough to skunk your account, even though you may have been still be in profit for the day. Wow, she's going. Oh, that was the 350 movement. Every day, 350, you'll get some active movement one way or the other. I've never tried to pay attention to whether it was always with the trend, against the trend, no connection to the trend. I don't know. I don't know if you could actually trade that or not. Yeah, there's only 10 minutes left in the cash market. So how do we end up here? It looks like the NQ ended down 35. ES is going to be down 10. That's like virtually flat as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, this must have been the open. Looks like that first trade we took, we could have just stayed with it and went out to lunch, come back later and collect our money. I actually think that Apex will automatically close out your trade before 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. It's going to take me some time to get used to speaking in Eastern time terms so everybody is on the same page. I'm going to keep making the mistake of giving you Central times. But I hope I get better at it. Yeah, maybe what the hell, we'll take a trade here. Now what I'm looking for is this to come back through. Yeah, looks like it's not going to. Pull back through the 9 EMA. Just wick through it. And then get in at the top of it. That's what we did at our first trade of Power Hour today. And that was a nice $250 trade. It's 5 points, one contract. We'll do this one with a micro. In one of our videos, I will explain how I trade micros off of the mini chart. But I don't think we're going to get a chance. And if I get any followers, we'll eventually get involved in a Discord and all that kind of stuff. But who knows? I may be the only one in this trading room, right? And I won't need a Discord because it's just me. But you never know. I guess the big question is, do I have anything to offer? Only you could be the judge. Well, this didn't really come back very cleanly. Usually we like to see lower highs on all the bars leading up into this pullback. But it did wick through it. And we can go with the micro here and try it. We still have 30 seconds left on this bar. But we'll set up our trade. Let's see here. This is the high there. It was 60 and 3/4, so that means 61. So we can get our trade ready here. 61. Let's hold on for a second. 61. It looks like we're going to do it. So we'll go buy at 61. All right, there's our order. And we'll just try to pick up a point. Actually, I have this ATM set for 5 points, so I'll pull it back one if we get filled. Let me just say right now, I'm fully aware that this is not a valid trade, but it's a micro and we need content for the last 4 minutes of this. And we are up, just in the last hour, we're up $300, so we can risk a micro. I suppose I could have just switched to Sim too, but somehow it doesn't feel the same in Sim as it does with actual trades. And when I say actual trades, I mean my Apex PA account, which is, as far as I know, is simulated too, but it's real money. From my perspective, it's real money. Actually, I need to lower that now. We'll follow that. Now our bar is 60 and a quarter. Right there. But I would never take this trade in any other time because, first of all, you see this little micro range here setting up. So the odds are immediately getting filled, it's going to pull back to this level. But we'll see what happens in the last 3 minutes. We're only going to try to get a point out of it anyway, which would put us at, 61 and a quarter. Plus, I'd like to get something for the commission. So 61 and a half will be our target. Only have 2 minutes left, less than 2 minutes, so may just skunk it. I'm not going to get into it after 3. Again, this is just for entertainment value. Looks like we might get triggered. Get in there. We're in. I'm going to move this down to 61 and a half. See how that works. Is that right? Is that what we're into this for? We are in at 60 and a quarter, so 61 and a half is where I want to get out. Yep. But you can see, just like I said was going to happen, let's move this a tick below here. Move it to there. And like I said, just as I thought, it's going to get caught up right here at the top of this range. So odds are we are going to get stopped out. We're already down $10 whole. $7.50. Oh no. Oh no. Yep. looks like we're going to get stopped out. I did put the stop below that range. Look at that. Maybe we... Oh, man, it is just stuck right in that little range, isn't it? Oh, looking better. And actually, a second entry long popped up here, too. Although we're way far away from the 20 EMA. Look at that. We got it. That was only $10 because we were using a micro, but would have been, I'm sorry, $5 because we were using micros. Would have been $50 otherwise. But I did not want to risk it. All right, well, it's now 4 o'clock Eastern and cash markets are closed and we are done for 2022. Again, this was just sort of another test run of my live stream. So if you have any entertainment value from this or you received any entertainment value from this, join us on Tuesday. That is January 3rd at 9:15 Eastern time. And we're going to do it for real. And we'll run that until about 11 Eastern and see if we can make some money and learn from each other and have a little fun. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I will see you on Tuesday.